Hey all, here OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at the Pixel Voical Air. This is a wireless microphone system that includes a receiver and transmitter. So one side includes the microphone that you can clip onto your shirt when talking, and the receiver can be connected onto your smartphone, onto your camera, allows you to stand further from the camera and still have your voice be heard in a consistent volume level if you're shooting outdoors, if you are an aspiring vlogger, and want to improve the audio quality of your footage. So this microphone system sells for around $100. That's definitely cheaper than some of the more well-known brands such as Rode. They actually also make a wireless mic system that sells for $200 to $300. So this is 2 to 3 times less. Otherwise, in terms of specs, it can record up to 70 meters away, so that's the connection range between the receiver and transmitter units, and it works for about 6 hours on a full charge, charges up using USB Type-C. It's plug and play, so it works with any camera, whether that's a DSLR, a camcorder, or your smartphone using a standard 3.5mm jack. Inside of the box, we have access to a hard shell carrying case, which is a pretty neat accessory here, and we have a quick user manual right on top. We'll also find access to a mounting adapter. It's using a standard kind of tripod mount that you can pop this onto a camera. And then on the top compartment, we have all of the accessories, 2 USB Type-C cables for charging, so you can charge both receiver and transmitter at the same time. We've also got a additional bonus lavalier microphone. So if we look on the very top, there's the built-in microphone, but in case you want something that blocks more wind, for example, you want a shield on it, or if you want something a little closer to your mouth and you can put this into your pocket, you can also plug in third-party microphones. Finally, we have a 3.5 through 3.5 millimeter adapter that is used for the receiver. Plug this in, the other side would go into your smartphone, would go into your camera just by plugging it in, and the audio would then be recorded using the microphone that's picked up on the other side over here. Both of these have built-in clips on the back, which is pretty neat, and the receiver also has another 3.5 millimeter port that you can use to plug in headphones for the real-time monitoring. So you can also hear a snippet of what's being recorded as the microphone is picking it up. Otherwise, a closer look at the design here, it is pretty lightweight. The dimensions of the receiver and transmitter is about the size of a standard kind of TWS wireless bud case like the Apple AirPods, so it's very small, easy to just take with you when on the go. The body is made out of a polycarbonate plastic. There is the aforementioned clip, and we also have a power key located on the right-hand side on both of the units. On the bottom here is where we have some of the controls, things like settings you can change for the display, for the recording mode, and then on the right-hand side is where we have the USB Type-C port, so a pretty simple and straightforward design. Now, if we turn the units on, this is what the kind of display looks like. And again, because it is an OLED panel, it is actually very bright and still quite easy to see if you're outdoors. Anyways, the visualization here, the sensitivity of the volume that it's picking up is going to be matched on both devices. Here we have the microphone, so if we kind of tap on it, you'll hear it kind of flash, and then we see that same signal being picked up on the receiver side. So right now in this demo, I've switched over to the microphone test. I've plugged in the receiver onto this camera and the transmitter. Right now I'm talking into it, so you can hear the quality of the microphone. This is the raw footage without any editing, and you can hear what the sound is like. I can move this one a little further away from my mouth, and the volume here should also be a bit more quiet. I plugged in the lavalier mic that it comes bundled with, just doing a quick comparison of what the sound quality is like. I still have the receiver connected to the camera, so you can hear this is what the quality of that plugged-in lavalier microphone is like. The built-in microphone is a bit more crisp, but with a shield on the lavalier mic, it also does a little bit better in terms of not picking up as much popping in terms of words that you're saying, and also if you're outdoors, reducing wind noise. So it could probably be the more versatile of the two mics for more practical use. But of course, the quality can further improve if you want to plug in another external microphone that's of even better quality. But one other advantage of the clip-on lavalier mic, I have to say, is it's lighter, so a little more comfortable as you're walking around. This weighs almost next to nothing, so when you kind of clip it onto your shirt, it doesn't kind of drape, almost invisible, versus this one, which is, although still light, it's about like an MP3 player in terms of weight, making it a little more comfortable for longer time recording. Otherwise, in terms of compatibility with smartphones, it was also really easy and simple, plug and play. Of course, the one caveat is these days headphone jacks are not the most common thing anymore, although you can always use an adapter, Lightning to 3.5 millimeters or Type-C to 3.5 millimeters and still be able to plug this part in, since this is required to replace the internal microphones. I'm going to try to walk slowly out and get further and further away from the subject, see if the volume is still consistent, and also see if it has any interruptions in terms of the transmission process. Right now, I would say that I'm about 10 meters away from the camera, and as I'm moving further and further away, now I'm about 20 meters away. Now I am about 30 meters away. I am now kind of behind more walls as I am indoors at the moment. I'm in a different room now, about 40 to 50 meters away. And now about 70 meters, which should be the maximum distance advertised. And overall, the sound still seems quite stable. As for some of the other settings on here, as aforementioned, we can tap on the keys that can adjust the volume pickup of the microphones. It goes up to 15. You can also make it a bit more quiet. This is also going to show you the connectivity range. So as we are moving further away, that signal should have dropped a little bit compared to when we're closer together. This is the current channel that we're using, and we can also change that if we want to get a stronger channel. I can tap on that and kind of move it to a different one that's using the megahertz range. This one here will try to match it, and that will allow us to prevent interference from happening if there's other radios in the area. So that's more or less it for our hands-on look at the Pixel Voical Air wireless mic system. It is a pretty simple product, nothing too fancy, but it does work very well if you want to improve the audio consistency, especially if you're someone that likes to move around a lot and the built-in microphone, can't really support zooming too far off. You want something with cleaner audio capture, works with any camera, any smartphone, and it just has a pretty modern touch to it with the OLED display, the fact that it supports Type-C for charging, and also includes built-in microphone as well as support for external ones at a price point that is significantly lower than other wireless clip-on microphone receiver and transmitter kits that I've seen. So you can check out more details if you're interested in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.